and gentlemen, Salam Alaikum. Welcome to the Muslim News Awards for Excellence, the 16th award since the year 2000.
As is tradition, we will begin proceedings with the recitation from the Holy Quran by Abbas Hussain.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم لا إكراه في الدين قد تبين الرشد من الغي فمن يكفر بالطاغوت ويؤمن بالله فمن يكفر بالطاغوت ويؤمن بالله فمن يكفر بالطاغوت ويؤمن بالله فقد استمسك بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها والله سميع عليم صدق الله العلي العظيم.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the Muslim News Awards for Excellence. Peace be upon you all.
You may recognize my co-MC here. I mean, he may or may not have been on this stage many a times before.
For my sins.
But just in case you don't know him, his name is Yasser.
And we did our bit for Brexit this year. And we negotiated a free trade agreement with Canada this year. And as part of that deal, we were forced, unfortunately, to hire Malika from Canada as our co-MC this year. You're welcome, Theresa May.
Well, you know what, Yasser? At least we're not running away from our neighbors.
Well, that might not be the case, but actually your neighbors of the US are running away from you, so.
Well played, well played. Well, you know what, Yasser? It's okay, because I'm Canadian and we're friendly. And in true Canadian spirit, I'm going to focus on the positives. I know we have a lot in common. I know we have the young and dashing Justin Trudeau.
We've got Boris, that counts. But look, we could trade barbs all night. I think we should probably get on with the show. And I think we should start with the house rules this evening so everyone knows what they have to do. And maybe we can do something a little bit different.
Yeah, I feel like every year it's us telling you guys what the house rules are, but let's do it the opposite this time. So how about you guys tell us what the house rules
Everyone
are?
up for that?
Yeah.
You are allowed to engage and be happy.
Yeah,
It's a good day.
so we figure you have your phones close to you. So if you could actually take them out and head over to this website, menti.com.
Take your phones out, please, everyone. We need all of you to participate.
It's menti.com. And there's actually a code right at the top of the screen there. It's 120770 in case you can't see that.
Come on, guys.
Just put your hands up so we know that you're logged in.
Phones in the air, maybe. Woo.
Hey, thank you.
So 2 people, 3 people.
Okay, so they're already on the first question.
So the first question is, are you actually awake?
I mean, I see a lot of smiles in the audience, so I think they're wide awake.
The table over there, I think they're just holding in. They might be falling asleep.
And I think some of you guys are refusing to play the game, so please, let's all engage.
I'm expecting 300 on here, so.
At least.
Okay, cool. So look, I think we're getting the gist that the majority of you are wide awake. Thank you very much. Shall we have the next question? Okay. So the next question, guys, is what rules must you follow tonight?
Is the first one that you should always be in your allocated seats in case of people coming late and as dietary restrictions have been allocated that way.
Should there be a fire? Should you look out for the fire exits, the little green boxes around the room?
Or is one of the rules you should follow is that you're always supposed to be wearing your badges in case you need to go in and out.
And my favorite is the fact is when you're co-hosting with a Canadian, do you need to get a translator?
And you guys can choose up to all the answers, whatever you think applies.
Malika, I'm not sure they get what you're saying.
Yeah,
That's
I think
probably the
this is,
problem.
I think we have some translators in the room, so we'll recruit help if necessary.
Let's see how many people fill this in. And I think the Canadian one's winning. I like this.
Am I really that bad already?
Okay, I think it's quite funny because it's quite evenly spread, but I would say that we'll definitely arrange a translator for later in the evening.
Okay, so the next question is for our winners. I'm seeing some eyes light up there. How long should your speeches be?
Should they be less than a minute?
Should they be under a minute?
Should they be 60 seconds?
Or should they be shorter than a term of someone on Donald Trump's cabinet?
That might actually be longer than 60 seconds. But, wow. I think we have a winner again.
Well, fortunately, they're all correct answers, so it's all good.
Great. Like I think I've noticed this crowd is up for a bit of fun. They seem to be
That's
choosing
good.
the most interesting answer. Very good. I like it. Excellent. Next question, please. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, obviously, it's a prestigious evening. How will you engage on social media tonight? Will you
be using the hashtag Inspiring Muslims in all of your posts, and we want to get it trending on Twitter.
And a little secret here is my co-MC here wanted a bit of publicity. She runs a blog called Hijabi Heroes, a massive, huge following, I think. That's what you told me to say,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Huge
that's what I bribed him earlier.
And obviously, Muslim News will be a feature on that tonight.
Or are you going to be on our Facebook page at The Muslim News? And they're actually live right now. So to everyone at home, hello there. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. And we'll also be live on Instagram at _Muslim News.
Or if you're like my co-MC, which I did not expect, you may not have any friends and therefore may not be engaging with us. But I know that's all a lie. So I hope the other answers pick up some more.
So again, this audience might be more like me than you think.
I know.
A lot of people have no friends, but thank you for letting us all know. We can be your friend. I've got an idea. Why don't you talk to people on your table? You can make new friends today.
Yeah.
Excellent. Muslim News going and creating harmony around the world.
Oh.
Excellent. All right, well, thank you very much for participating. So, whilst thank you for joining the game. So we do ask you to please keep your phones on silent, but please do post tonight, do engage with social media. Let's get that hashtag Inspiring Muslims trending on Twitter tonight.
Okay.
If you need anything, you'll see around the room the volunteers smiling and scattered, and they're wearing those green badges. So if you do need anything, just let them know.
Awesome. And now we have a feast for your eyes, ears, and soul. We would like to invite onto stage Mr. Khalid Hakim, a Sufi daf player, Mr. Erdal Unsala, who plays the Turkish saz music, and the renowned storyteller, Mr. Saif Townsend, all together on stage for your entertainment. Can we please give them a big hand?
Once, there was a village high in the uplands where Europe meets Asia. It was a village spread out, and right through that village, there ran a path, a road. But no one in the village knew where the road went to, and no one in the village knew where the road came from. Because those people were content. Those people were happy. No social media like what we've had tonight. No newspapers, no television. Just a village of work and activity. On each side of that path that went through the village that no one knew where it went to or where it came from, the two sides were very different. On one side there was a big ridge of mountains, and when the sun rose in the east and set in the west, that side was completely in the shade. On the other side there were green hills. And from the day in the morning until the day in the evening, it was constantly in the sun. They had sun and they had shade. But on this side, they had something more. They had water. And to grow food, we need both sun and water. So what did the villagers do? They cooperated. And the people on this side knew about water engineering, about pipes and pumps and bringing the water across to this side. On this side, they knew about horticulture, husbandry, pruning, cutting, digging. And they lived a life of contentment. And at the end of the day, they sat on the path that divided the village. And they talked of their lives, simple as they were. And everything went on like this, from time to time, from year to year, until a stranger walked through the village. And he walked straight through that path. And he didn't look this way, he didn't look that way. And at this point, the people were completely engaged in trauma, in problems, because on this side there was a flood and everyone was trying to stop the flood going everywhere and the water was going everywhere. On this side, a person fell and broke his leg, and he was in agony, and they had to fix it. And in the middle of all that fuss, they saw a stranger walking past them, just a quick glimpse. On this side, they saw that the stranger had a beautiful coat. On this side, they saw that the stranger had a beautiful coat. But this was a very special coat. This side was red, and this side was green. And at the end of the day, when they came and they sat on that road as they always did, and they exchanged their stories. Oh, one of our men broke his leg. Oh, well, I'm sorry about that, but we had water everywhere. But did you see the stranger? Yes, we saw the stranger. He had a beautiful green coat. We saw the stranger too. The coat was red. The coat was green. The coat was red. The coat was green. The coat was red. The coat was... Never before had they had any disagreement. They'd worked in harmony. Never before was there any conflict. But when a young man on this side said, "Look here, grandfather, there's too much sun in your eyes." "What do you mean there's too much? You can't see the color. In fact, not only you're colorblind, you're stupid." The old man was angry. The old man who had worked all his life to bring life to the village, who had worked in the fields, his hands that brought work, now turned into fists. And when you have a fist and when you're angry, it's very hard to hold back. And before you knew it, they were... And when they went home with their black eyes, their bruised bodies, and the occasional broken finger, they'd had enough. And the next day, no work was done. No pruning, digging, no pumping. The water stopped. In 2 days, the fruit shriveled. But still they sat on the path, each side looking, saying nothing. No word of sorry, no word of were we mistaken, no reconciliation. They'd never needed it in the past. What could they do now? Until one day, the stranger walked back, and what was now red for this side and green for this side became red for that side and green for that side. Everything was the opposite. And they realized that even though they had seen with their own eyes the truth of the color of that coat, they realized that there are two sides to every story. La 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 la.
Hi guys, hello. That was captivating. So what did I learn? I learned there are two sides to every story. But tonight, there is only one side to tonight's story, and that is that we're gathered here today to actually to recognize the sung and unsung heroes amongst the British Muslim community. So, let's get on with the awards. And let's start first with the award called Fazlur Rahman Khan Award for Engineering, Science and Technology. This award has been generously sponsored by the Al Khair Foundation.
The winner of Fazlur Rahman Khan Award this year is Dr. Shiraz Gala.
The largest application-oriented research organization in Europe. He is researching cardiovascular, neurological, and neglected infectious diseases in Africa with the aim of discovering new treatments. He also co-founded a biotech company, Transcriptogen, in London that is developing first-in-class medicines for pancreatic cancer.
Do you want to say a few words? 60 seconds. Thank you.
Now we will.
Everyone, I'm very humbled to receive this award. I'm really appreciative of the Muslim News organising these types of events. I'd also like to thank my collaborators and research funders who have really enabled all the research activities that I've been doing over the last 2 decades possible. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you very much.
So I have to ask, are you enjoying the award ceremony so far?
So far, so good.
Yeah, good.
Very excellent.
So how do you feel after winning the award, the Fazlur Rahman Award, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I'm very privileged to have received the award. Been involved in pharmaceutical drug discovery for the last 2 decades, and it's excellent to see that my efforts are being recognised.
That's amazing. So do you have any plans now that you've got this award going forward? Like, do you have an idea of what you're going to do with it, or just like what you were already planning maybe?
So we have many projects in the drug discovery area, which I'll continue, but I think on the back of the Muslim News and the award that I've got it, I will try and engage with the local community, the Muslims, that they should also get involved in research and other activities as well, and come along to these type of events and get nominated if possible.
That sounds amazing. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
The next award is the Alia Izabegovic Award for Good Citizenship. We would like to invite Ms. Rosina Luafi, Creative Marketing Manager for Muslim Aid, who kindly sponsored this award, to present our winner.
Assalamu alaikum. The winner of the Alia Izabegovic Award for Good Citizenship is Nazim Ali.
So unfortunately, the winner, Mr. Nazim Ali, was unable to attend tonight. He's actually feeling unwell. So can we please have a volunteer accept the award on his behalf?
I'm sure someone wants the astrolabe. Here we go. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Nazim Ali has raised £120,000 for a plethora of causes by running marathons and going on mountain treks. He visited Turkey several times to deliver aid to Syrian refugees, and in 2015 he assisted with the flood relief efforts in Carlisle and Todmorden, and has been providing Eid presents to children in Bradford Royal Infirmary. Nazim volunteered as a football coach for Fairbank United and organises annual Bringing Communities Together tournaments to promote cohesion.
The third award of the evening is the Anne-Marie Schimmel Award for championing a Muslim cause, which is sponsored by Inclusive Ventures Group. So please welcome on stage Mr. Mohammed Amasi, the founder of the Amnesty Foundation and the founder of the Inclusive Ventures Group, to present this award.
So the winner this year of the Anne-Marie Schimmel Award for Excellence in Championing a Muslim Cause is Grassroots Initiative.
Grassroots is the Luton-based Church of England organisation in its 25th year. It has successfully secured the British Council's Global Exchange in Community Muslim population. Grassroots has helped Luton mosques become some of the first in the country to adopt a fair trade policy. It ran an eco-iftar with Islamic Relief in 2015 and 16, and is now leading the successful multi-faith steering group for making Luton a fair trade town.
I'm going to do this now.
Don't quite know what to say. This is totally unexpected, but we're deeply grateful for this honour. The award really is for the wonderful team at Grassroots who do very creative and cutting-edge community work, and it's them that the award really belongs to. Can I ask our director, David Jonathan, just to say something about the work that the team does and to whom the award is justly awarded?
What we do is represented in this quote that we often use in our work by Abraham Lincoln, that I destroy my enemy by making him or her my friend. And we are in the business of making friends with those who, before they could be perceived as enemies, could be turned into friends. Thank you so much for having us this evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I have to ask, have you been enjoying the evening so far?
Absolutely and thoroughly. I always say that people are energy in themselves, and when there are lots of positive people, there's lots of positive energy, and that's what I have been enjoying this evening.
And just quickly, how does it feel, of course, to have won this award?
Well, I must say that I'm quite shocked, must say pleasantly shocked, because I'm humbled to even think of that. How could we be shortlisted to win an award, because there are so many other people doing so much more than us. So this award actually only inspires us to continue what we are doing, but not only what we are doing, but continue to do a little bit more.
And that's kind of perfect. So I wanted to ask you, what do you plan on doing with the award now, like going forward?
Yes, I think Grassroots program in Luton has just now celebrated, actually last month, on 22nd of March, its 25th anniversary celebrations, which was attended by all political, civic and religious dignitaries in Luton. And it was attended by more than 400 people. So unfortunately, we have received this award in that sense after that event. Otherwise, we would have presented this on that stage as well. But having said that, I think Grassroots always keeps organizing programs and events. And I think throughout the year, we are going to be celebrating this success and achievement that has been bestowed upon us. So we are hugely, hugely honored to have received this award.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so
and
much.
I'll see you around in the evening.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So Yasser, you know, a little while ago, I was actually at the Muslim News office. You know, I wanted to see what happens behind the scenes, and I actually ended up hacking their website.
Hang on, let me double take. So, are you a Russian assassin, a Facebook, Cambridge Analytics kind of person? I don't buy this. You didn't hack Muslim News.
Okay, maybe I exaggerated a little bit, but the website did crash for a whole 3 days. I mean, who knew you're not actually supposed to press the big red button that says, "Do not press"?
I'm not sure what I'm more worried about. Why does Ahmed in his office have a big red button which says "Do not press"? Or the thought of Donald Trump sitting in the Oval Office with his hand hovering over this bigly button?
I think that's too scary to think about, so let's move on to the next award. So the next award is the Ibn Sina Award for Health, and we would like to invite Mr. Iqbal Naseem, the Chief Executive of the National Zakat Foundation, who is the sponsor, to present this award.
After this is mathematics. Page.
Assalamu
Alaikum.
I'm actually feeling a little bit unwell, so to present the health award is quite interesting. So, the winner of the Ibn Sina Award for Excellence in Health is Dr. Amina Jindani.
Dr. Ahmed is an 82-year-old scientist from St. George's Medical School, London. Amina is internationally acclaimed for her research on TB, a disease she has focused most of her life on. Amina has set up a global network of health workers to conduct trials in many countries she has secured major grants from the EU. Her devoted efforts have led to significant changes in ethos, procedures, and approaches to the eradication of this disease at both the World Health Organization and the Food and Drug Administration in the US.
Thank you so much to the organizers and the judges for awarding me this very prestigious prize that is related in the name of a very prestigious physician. At this time, I would also like to pay a tribute to my late parents for being enlightened enough to give me the best education a Muslim girl of my time could have had. I wish that every girl on this planet would have parents as enlightened as mine and would have the opportunities of education as I have had. Thank you so much.
So I have to ask, have you been enjoying your evening so far?
I'm a bit in shock, but I'm really very gratified and honored.
And about the award, of course, the Ibn Sina Award, I believe it is?
That's the one, yes. A great physician. I'm honored to have received an award linked to this very, very great physician.
Going forward, what do you plan on doing with the award?
My work is in tuberculosis, the eradication of it. I don't know why we're even talking about tuberculosis. It should have been eradicated decades ago. But in spite of being a very cheap medicines, short treatment, today the incidence is going up. The incidence of antimicrobial resistance is going up. And with a annual mortality of 2 million people, it can be classified as a weapon of mass destruction. Well, it is now time to take down this weapon of mass destruction, and I intend to do it.
That sounds absolutely amazing. Congratulations on the award.
Thank you.
And I hope you have an amazing evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
So the next award is, I don't know if you can relate to it particularly, Yasser, but I definitely can, because it is the Malcolm X's Young Persons Award for Excellence.
I'm constantly being bullied. It's been like this in the whole scripting process.
So this award has been sponsored by Human Appeal, and may we please invite Mr. Zahir Khan, who is the head of community fundraising for Human Appeal, to present this award.
Number 2 to next, right? Which one's that?
Assalamu alaikum. Ran the London Marathon yesterday, so walking up those 3 steps, oh wow, it was tough. But anyway, delighted to be here. And the winner for the Malcolm X Young Persons Award for Excellence goes to Mariam Ali.
Mariam Ali is a bright young lady who has completely transformed her life in the last few years. After a period of instability that involved leaving home and missing a year of school, Mariam has been able to channel her energies into childcare and is currently in the 2nd year of her teaching degree. Mariam also undertook a cricket activators course and completed her level 2 cricket coaching course. She is attracting many girls to cricket and is awarded Young Coach of the Year 2017 at the ECD Coach Awards. Mariam has set up her own charity, Orphan Care, which has since adopted a school in Zanzibar with the aim of supporting resident orphans and children.
I wasn't expecting this, I'm quite nervous, but I just want to say thank you to all the support I've been given from my family and friends, especially my dad. He's a huge inspiration in my life. Jazakallah khair.
So I have to ask, have you been enjoying your evening so far?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm having a lovely evening so far.
And of course I have to ask, how did it feel when they called your name on stage to receive this award?
I was really, really shocked. I looked at my dad and I was like, oh, it's actually me. So yeah, I was really, really shocked, surprised.
And of course, you won the Malcolm X Award. Going forward, do you have any plans now that you've got this award by your side that will help you with anything that you've been planning to do?
Yeah, inshallah, I continue to do my cricket coaching, but hopefully to go on the road of trying to be a mentor for young girls. So inshallah, we see where that goes.
That's really inspiring. Congratulations, and I hope you have a lovely evening.
So as we're going along these awards, I just wanted to say that there's honestly so many excellent shortlisted nominees in this room, and I just want to take a second to recognize all of them. So can we get all of the shortlisted nominees? Please stand up so we can recognize you all. Don't be shy. We're
Come on,
standing.
stand up.
You
Don't
can
be
join
shy.
us.
Everyone,
And let's give them a big round of applause.
When you looked around the room, I could see dedication, I could see inspiration.
And on this stage, there's some perspiration.
And you thought the cheesy jokes were going to end when she was on stage. So I think we should call your jokes a cancellation. Any other adjectives? Okay. That's right. We'll move on. The next award tonight is the Ibn Battuta Award for Excellence in the Media. We'd like to invite Imran Madden, the UK Director of Islamic Relief, to present this award. And this award is kindly sponsored by Islamic Relief.
Bismillah, assalamu alaikum.
Islam.
So, the winner of the Ibn Battuta Award for Excellence in Media is Mars Elkin Elbrogi.
TV producer Mars Elkin Elbrogi started her journalism career at the age of 16, working at a local Ipswich daily newspaper before graduating in journalism from Sheffield University. After working for local newspapers, she moved into TV, managing dramas for the BBC, ITV, and Channel 4. She was at BBC Entertainment as a multi-platform producer and was then promoted to online producer for BBC 3. She is currently the youngest advisory council member of the Royal Television Society and is the youngest and only Muslim to deliver the RTS Fed Lecture at Birmingham Town Hall.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First of all, alhamdulillah for this award, for all praise and glory go to Allah. I want to thank my husband and my parents for always encouraging me to learn, to grow, and develop, even at my old age. My children for being an inspiration, for everyone who just gave so much support, starting from my school teachers, line managers, and everyone else. Thank you, and to all who have been shortlisted and winners, congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
So I have to ask, are you enjoying the award ceremony so far?
Absolutely. It's just so well organized. I'm loving the drinks. Everybody's been so friendly. So always the food is awesome. So I'm quite looking forward to that.
And of course, I have to ask you, how do you feel? You just won the Ibn Battuta Award.
I'm absolutely speechless. I really wasn't expecting it. I know it's such a cliche answer, but I'm just so grateful, really, to the judges and, you know, for this opportunity. It's amazing.
And do you have any plans now that you have this award going forward? Like, what do you plan to do with it?
I would definitely want to celebrate with my family because they've always been really very encouraging. The closest friends that I've got who have given so much support and, again, encouragement, because that's so important to keep you going. Yeah.
Well, I hope to see you around. Take care.
Take care, you too.
The next award is quite special. It is the Iman wa Amal Award, and it is granted by the discretion of the judges. We would like to please invite the Professor of Religious Studies, Islamic Centre UK, Cardiff University, and the Chairperson of the Muslim News Independent Panel of Judges, Professor Sophie Gilliatt-Ray.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I know that I speak for my fellow panel members when I say what a tremendous privilege it's been to act as judges for this year's Muslim News Awards. We've had the opportunity to learn about the impact of some of Britain's most entrepreneurial, self-sacrificing, ambitious and successful British Muslims. If the quality of the nominations are a barometer of the progress and the contribution of Muslims to the flourishing of our society, then I can assure you that in so many fields of public life, they're having an enormously positive influence. I want to pick out, though, two categories for particular mention for the degree to which they gave us a very optimistic sense of the future. The nominations that we looked at for the Children's Award and the Young Person's Award were absolutely outstanding. And some of the highest scores that we awarded went to the nominees in these two categories. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, friends, some of Britain's Muslim youth are very, very special people. And as judges, we felt really humbled and amazed at some of the ways they're making a positive difference to our society. Just a little kind of housekeeping thing. In the programme for tonight's event, you can read about the details of the judging process and how it all works. So I'm not going to explain that now, but I do want to assure you of the rigour and the transparency of each stage. So once we received our nominations in early December last year, each judge did their own independent scoring, and our wonderful coordinator, Hara Imami, then did all the number crunching to enable the winners to be chosen. I think it was very reassuring and very satisfying for us as judges to find that quite independently of one another, we reached very consistent scores. Having been involved in so many academic processes of selection and decision-making, whether for scholarships or determining undergraduate degree classes, I can assure you that the processes that underpin tonight's awards are just as methodical, thorough, and scrupulous. I think it's also worth alluding to the diversity of experiences, professional backgrounds, gender, age, and probably many other markers of difference too amongst the judging panel. So despite our very different perspectives, there was a real convergence in our assessment of the nominations. So thank you, Ahmed, for giving us the opportunity to read about some of the most amazing British Muslims. So the individual who the judges wanted to particularly accord regard to and honour is the absolutely inspirational Fayaz Afzal.
Dr. Fayaz Afzal, OBE, is a barrister and recorder who was sworn in as a district judge at Derby Combined Court Centre, making him the first and only Muslim district judge in the East Midlands. When Fayaz, aged 39, was called to the bar in 1999, he was the only Asian blind barrister in the country. He successfully practiced in areas of crime, family, and immigration. He has won various awards, including Community Lawyer of the Year, Professional of the Year, and the Achievement Through Adversity Award. His work and advocacy led to his achieving an OBE in 2008.
thank you very much to the esteemed judging panel for considering me worthy of this award and recognition. I'm truly touched. I have to say that a huge debt of gratitude goes to my parents, who thought it appropriate that a Muslim child with a disability, because I'm registered blind, ought to have the opportunity of going to an ordinary mainstream school, having the benefit of an education, and thereafter going on to do other things. Had it not been for that thought process, this would never ever have happened. Too many Muslim children with a disability are regarded as people who can't achieve. Please never underestimate the achievements of those with a disability. And I'm very proud to be able to say that as a consequence, the diversity of our judiciary in this country is vastly improving, and also that a truly diverse judiciary consisting of Muslims amongst it gives true credibility to the society in which we live. Muslims are making a huge contribution to society, and I think that my appointment to the district bench in the East Midlands as one of the first district judges there who's Muslim is an overdue appointment, and in my view there are many more yet to come, and I hope for the best for the judiciary. Thank you very much indeed.
Have you been enjoying the evening so far?
It's been absolutely amazing to be part of celebrations such as this, and to see how many people are doing so well in the society that we live in.
That's amazing. So I just wanted to ask you really quickly, how does it feel? Of course I have to ask, how does it feel to have won this award?
A complete surprise. It's something that was unexpected. I was shortlisted in a different category, and then to be selected in the judging panel's final classification and their own personal selection is just absolutely amazing. It really is so nice to be honoured in this way and in that special way.
Yeah, it is. And I just wanted to ask you really quickly, what do you plan on doing now that you have this award?
Well, I'd like to share it with my family, because all of their efforts have been recognised here, and also with my judicial colleagues, because I believe that this award recognises how well the judiciary is doing to address issues of diversity and to make the judiciary a credible institution which reflects the society which we serve.
That's amazing. Really, it is. It's truly inspiring. Congratulations on your award, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much indeed.
So the next award is the Imams Hassan and Hussein Children's Award for Excellence, which is sponsored by Muntada Aid. Can we please invite onto the stage Dr. Tohin al-Islam Khalil from Muntada Aid to present this award.
Assalamu alaikum. Greetings from Muntada Aid, UK. The winner of Imam Hassan Hussain Children's Award for Excellence is Ishal Mahmood. Ishal Mahmood.
Has received the rare offer of a full scholarship to study as a full boarder at one of the UK's top girls' boarding schools. Her extraordinary achievements include playing the organ, piano and guitar, scoring in the top 1% of the population in Mensa IQ tests, being signed up for screen acting, and singing in Winchester Cathedral Choir. Ishal is a keen equestrian and a member of the British Polo Club. Ishal has achieved great things despite coming from an underprivileged background. She is now also setting up a charity to help other disadvantaged children to acquire places at top independent schools.
Thank you so much for the Muslim Needs Awards for allowing children to have this opportunity to be be recognised for being for doing so well. I am truly honoured and privileged to have this award. Many thanks to my mum and dad and my uncle and my aunties and uncles and my cousin brother for all being here and supporting me all the way. So thank you. May I please ask everybody here today to please pray for me to continue to do well in the future, and may Allah help me to be a compassionate human being in life. Thank you.
Ishal, I have to ask, have you been enjoying your evening so far?
Yes, definitely.
You've been enjoying, yeah?
Yeah.
So now that you've won the award, how do you feel, having won it?
Well, I genuinely feel, actually I think I'm still in a dream, but I think it's genuinely amazing that I've won the award, and I feel really privileged and honoured.
That's amazing. And I wanted to ask all of you, going forward, what do you plan on doing with this award?
Well, I hope to sort of go into the future and continue doing well, and I hope that I become a good human being in life. Yeah, I just hope I continue doing well, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm very happy for her, to be honest, now, especially it's coming from Muslim News Award. Yeah, it's a special one always.
Well, congratulations. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
So our next award this evening is the Faiza Hashmi Award for Excellence in Sport. This award is sponsored by the Salam Centre, and so could we ask Marziya Jafar from the Salam Centre to present this award?
Assalamu alaikum. Winner of Faiza Hashmi Award for Excellency in Sports is Sabah Nasim.
Sabah Nasim has devoted over 8 years of her spare time to coaching at Lancaster Cricket Club in East London, whilst working as a full-time solicitor. In 2013, she set up a girls' cricket project in Redbridge in collaboration with Essex County Cricket Board and the Chance to Shine charity. Sabah was a part of a Guinness World Record which was broken in July 2017 for the largest cricket lesson held in a single venue at Lord's Cricket Ground, which she helped to coach and run. In addition to winning various awards in the cricket community, she was recognised by former Prime Minister David Cameron and more recently by the Queen when she received her British Empire Medal.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. First of all, I'd just like to thank Almighty God for giving me the opportunities in life. Secondly, my parents, especially my mother, who inspired me to play cricket and coach cricket. Thirdly, my cricket club, Wanstead Cricket Club, and also Essex County Cricket Board and Chance to Shine for giving us the funding to run these girls' projects. And I just have a message for everyone that if you have any female in your life, any female or even any male, just encourage them to play sports and always, help them, support them to pursue their hopes and dreams. And inshallah, Allah will help you along the way. Thank you.
So, have you been enjoying your evening so far?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. It's so great to see all the great nominees, and I think I'm on the winners' table because 4 of the other people on my table have also won awards.
And of course, I have to ask, how does it feel to have been awarded this magnificent award?
Yeah, it feels absolutely fantastic. I mean, I've brought my mum with me and she was like, "You're going to win it." I was like, "No, I'm not sure." But yeah, it feels great that the work that I'm doing at the grassroots level is being recognised, at this level.
That's true, that's true. And how do you plan on utilising this award going forward?
I think I'll just carry on doing what I'm doing and hopefully try and reach out to more girls, especially in the inner city areas, in deprived areas where there's not, big, massive cricket pitches to play on, and, try and promote the sport there more in those communities.
Congratulations again, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much.
Malika, we're rattling through the awards this evening. Are you all inspired?
Yes.
Very good. Should we go on the next award?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, cool. So the next award tonight is the Sankora University Award for Excellence in Education. This award is sponsored by Muslim Hands and will be presented by its Senior Program Manager, Tariq Nazir.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Winner of Sankora University Award for Excellence in Education is, if I can get it out, it's Professor Masood Adebayo Badruddin.
Is a Nigerian-British citizen who has made significant global academic and religious contributions towards a better understanding of the role of Islamic law in modern international relations. The originality of his work has resulted in the international recognition of his expertise, notably through his
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I've just been notified like 5 minutes ago that, Professor Baderi, we don't know the reason why he's not here, and I've been asked to come and, pick up this award for him.
So first I have to ask you, I know you just came, but have you enjoyed your evening so far?
Oh, yes, yeah. It's been a very brilliant evening, yeah.
And how do you feel now that you've got this award? Your emotions must be all over the place.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I feel highly honored. It's evidence of one's work being appreciated. And a lot of the time when you are doing things, you are just doing it for the interest and also for the passion you have in it. But then when people start appreciating it, you feel highly honored, and I feel very highly honored this evening. Yeah.
And going forward, now that you have this award with you, have your plans changed, or do you have any plans going forward now?
Well, I'm an academic, and usually you just need to continue doing research and continue publishing. And my philosophy of life has always, it relates to what is being done here, promotion of excellence. There's a tradition of the Prophet in which the Prophet said, Inna Allah yuhibbul abd idha amala amalan an yutkina. That God loves that any of his servants, when they do any action or any deed, they do it to excellence, they perfect it. And this is for excellence. And since this has been noticed, one needs to, you don't have to lower the bar, you have to continue doing more, and I hope I'll be able to do that.
100%. Congratulations again, and I hope you have the amazing rest of the evening.
Thank you so much.
So, on with the next award. The next award is the El Baruni Award for Excellence in Community Relations. So to present this next award, the presenter leads the SNP in Westminster. He's a businessman and is a member of the Intelligence and Security Committee. I did hear that the Intelligence and Security Committee tried to find out who the winner of the next award was, but actually it's so independent, so secret, and on paper so unhackable. I don't think the presenter
Not on the
knows
website, though.
So could I please welcome the Right Honourable Ian Blackford MP, Scottish National Party, to present this award. Ian, just before you start, I want to ask a question. You are called the Right Honourable. Can you be a Left Honourable, a Centre Honourable? What is that, Right Honourable?
Well, I think those of us in the SNP always consider ourselves to be a little on the left, but the reason that you get the distinction between honourable and right honourable, all members of Parliament are honourable members, but those that are members of the Privy Council, and you have to be a Privy Councillor to be on the Intelligence and Security Committee, and that is something that you remain even after you leave Parliament.
Okay, thank you.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. It's a pleasure to be with you here tonight, showcasing talents and celebrating the shining lights of the United Kingdom's Muslim communities. Congratulations to all the nominees and the winners here tonight. Your achievements in your respective fields are an example of the hard work, drive and determination that make our society the great place that it is today. However, the ceremony taking place here tonight is not just about your vital contribution to society year in, year out. It is also an opportunity to showcase you all as role models, helping to inspire younger generations who will lead our society into the future. Muslims make an enormous contribution to our society, whether that be in religion, the arts, sports, business, or countless other areas. In Scotland, I have witnessed firsthand the vital role that Muslims play, particularly by making enormous contributions in faith relations which help to strengthen the fabric of our society. Just last week, it was announced that there was a successful conclusion to a fundraising campaign to open a mosque in the Isle of Lewis and the Outer Hebrides in the town of Stornoway. In what was a stronghold of Gaeldom and an island that is very much Presbyterian, the dominant local faith is both welcoming and respectful of the addition to the faith community on these islands. The Muslim community, although small in the islands, is an integral part of island life, one that has been bolstered by the arrival of a number of refugee families from Syria. Our cultural identity is renewed and enriched by the addition of these new Scots. We've come a long way since the first mosque in Scotland was inaugurated in 1944. There are now more than 70 locations for prayer in Scotland, consisting of mosques, temporary spaces for prayer, prayer rooms managed by universities, Islamic societies, or Muslim community centres. Having such visible symbols of Islam, coupled with establishments such as ethnic grocery stores, has allowed Muslim presence in our country an everyday reality, a reality that I and the Scottish Government are very pleased to be associated with. Further integration and harmonisation of the Muslim community in Scotland come through the Scottish Government's welcoming attitudes towards minorities, refugees and asylum seekers. The Scottish Government is determined to show leadership in advancing race equality, tackling racism and addressing the barriers that prevent people from minority ethnic communities from realising their full potential. This leadership comes in the form of the Race and Equality Framework for Scotland. Such actions have allowed the Muslim population to steadily grow. It is expected that over the coming decade the Muslim population in Scotland will double. Due to the contribution that the Muslim population makes in Scotland, I couldn't be more thrilled by this news. Not only are there several mosques spread across Scotland, but there is also an Islamic tartan, and nothing is more quintessentially Scottish than having your own tartan. It is yet another reason that will positively serve unity between people of different faiths in Scotland. I hope that we as Scots and British nationals continue to live in harmony by interweaving ever more. This award ceremony celebrating your contribution to society is an essential part of this. Whilst your individual achievements stand out, it is your collective achievements that have helped strengthen Scotland and the wider United Kingdom. The promotion of Islamic values of peace and unity serve us all. Now in its 16th year, the Muslim News Awards for Excellence continues to pay tribute to the best, brightest and the most compassionate, showcasing role models that will positively inspire our younger generations. So once again, congratulations to all those nominated, and warmest congratulations to those who have won the awards. Your talents deserve to be showcased, and I look forward to celebrating with you over the course of the rest of this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Al Barouni Award for Excellence in Community Relations is Mifa Zaman.
From walking 600 miles to commemorate the memory of Joe Cox, to running a dozen half marathons in aid of disabled children. In addition to running his own organisation, Community of Jews and Muslims, he volunteers his services to the Royal British Legion, Muslim Aid, Islamic Relief, the NHS, the Near Neighbours Programme, the Epilepsy Society, and Streetlights UK. His community efforts have been covered by the BBC and ITV.
I really feel humbled to receive this award, and special thanks to the Muslim News, and I want to give this special thanks to those people. Once a time I was a homeless, I was in the street. I had no one. But because of some people, today I'm here. I would like to remember these people. I want to give thanks from my heart, and especially from for my parents and my mother. Because of my mother today, maybe I'm like this kind of person. And this is not easy to carry on when you do some volunteer work, especially for the society. And my inspiration is the verse for the Surah Ar-Rahman in the Quran, which favor of your Lord you will gonna deny. So that's why actually when I woke up in the morning, I can't deny any rewards. I want to give something back to the society, to my community, because on their day of judgment, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks me what you have done for me, at least maybe it's very little, but at least I can say, Allah, I have done something. So again, thanks to everyone, and please pray for me, then I can carry on my service, and may Allah accept it, and inshallah get the best reward in Day of Judgment. Again, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Okay, so the first thing I have to ask you is, have you been enjoying your evening so far?
Yes, while I came, I was really excited, a bit worried what is going to happen. And now you can see I've received this award. So I'm really excited, really feel happy. And first of all, thanks to give Almighty Allah.
That's so good. And of course, I was going to ask you, how does it feel, when they called your name and you walked onto the stage for this award?
I feel really humble because I never worked to get the award. All my work to please my Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if I will get the best award from him, inshallah, I will be more happy. But I really appreciate, because this thing we're going to inspire other people who wants to change their life.
And what do you plan on doing now that you have this by your side? Like, has it changed your plans in any way, or?
When you go somewhere, sometimes when you have a traffic, you have to change your plan, but you know where to go. So this is the way I'm moving. If something happen, I'll change my plan, but I will reach my destination with my vision. And I want to do some good work to serve the humanity and to stand with those people who has no one to listen, who has no one to love. I'm always for them.
Well, that's so inspiring. Congratulations so much for the award, and I'll see you around. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
And, thanks again to the Muslim News and all the nominees, and congratulations to all the winners, and thanks again who've been nominated, because they all are amazing. Thank you.
So Ian, next year you're going to send me a Muslim tartan kilt for the awards, is that right? Thank you, appreciate it, thank you. Okay, so the next award this evening is the Uthman Dan Fodio Award for Excellence in Community Development. This will be presented by Tom Brake from the Liberal Democrats. He's a spokesman for exiting the European Union and international trade. Now, if you remember, the last time I introduced Tom, I told you all that he was a polyglot. So he spoke French, Portuguese, Russian, and a tiny bit of English. So I'm going to try and challenge him. I'm going to try and speak in 3 languages. So Tom, karibu. Benvindo no palco, applaudissez vos mains. Can you guess the languages, Tom? That's the question.
Yeah.
Were they some of the ones I was supposed to be able to speak? Well, assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for inviting me to say a few words. And if I can't, from this political platform, or not a non-political platform, have a dig at my political colleagues. You asked the question earlier about what does right honourable mean. Well, the Liberal Democrats often think that the SNP speak left but act right. So I think maybe that's the explanation. As I was arriving here, I caught the tail end of a a fable, I think it was, about a man who arrives in a green and a red coat. Yes. Arrives in two villages, and they, I think this creates dissent. And I thought that as the party's Brexit spokesman, this was perhaps a good fable in terms of a man who arrives and has the Remain colour on one side and the Leave on the other, and perhaps at the end manages to reconcile these two villages. But that hasn't happened yet, but maybe we should talk to your storyteller about achieving a successful outcome. And I think that looking at the people who are being presented or considered as part of the shortlist this evening, it would have been an incredibly difficult task to work out who to award the prize to. Islamic Relief, who've been looking at approachable parenting, something that one wouldn't normally associate with Islamic Relief, so very exciting development. Sophia Bunsey for the work that she's done with Muslim women in prison. And finally, Visit My Mosque. I suspect that quite a lot of people here will have indeed visited their mosque, as I did a month or so ago. And can I again commend that project in particular for a very successful example of integration, in that I did have a photograph taken with the Imam, but also the Conservative Member of Parliament for the neighbouring seat. So it was successful in terms of integrating the widest possible communities. But without any further ado, I'm now going to open the envelope for the winner of the Uthman Dan Fodio Award for Excellence in Community Development. And the winner is Islamic Relief and Approachable Parenting.
Islamic Relief and Approachable Parenting have joined forces to work with over 500 children from Muslim families to provide culturally sensitive, community-based support programs across the UK. The aim of these programs is to provide early intervention that can support families to provide the best childcare. It is hoped these programs will eventually grow capacity within communities to deliver peer-to-peer parenting support for years to come. Approachable Parenting believes early intervention with parents of young children can have a dramatic effect on the children's long-term development.
Thank you so much. I'm speechless this evening. Thank you to Muslim News and also to all the people that were involved in this to ensure that we could get this award this evening. The adjudicators and, of course, everybody that was shortlisted. What wonderful organisations. We didn't think that we had a chance against them. That's why I'm not thinking straight now. Also, I'd like to thank Islamic Relief. Through their funding and support, we actually wouldn't be here to be able to deliver the awards all over the UK and offer the support, not just to Muslim families, but to families from non-Muslims and different faiths as well, right from pregnancy up to teenage years. So we often describe this as having hydrogen and oxygen as the parents coming together, which forms water. In the pregnancy stage, when the water forms as vapour and is easily moved around, this is so easy to develop the character of the children. In the liquid stage, you can still manoeuvre around. This is school-going age. And we want to get in early before you know what comes next, the ice. And it's often parents come to us complaining about that stage, the teenage years, which we cover as well. So we deliver all the programmes, alhamdulillah, and we're very privileged to be able to do that. And I'd really like to thank our team who are here this evening, our parents especially who come on the programme from all walks, alhamdulillah, our volunteers who we're going to fundraise for this event now, doing the marathon in a couple of weeks' time. So we're going to be like somebody else that came up earlier on for all their efforts that they put in to sparkle, because we call them sparklers, like the lights behind me, alhamdulillah. And just before I leave, I'd like to thank my family who actually have contributed more work than they know. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
So you heard it first here. Tom is going to start Brexit the musical. Exciting times. That's exclusive, world exclusive.
So I have to ask, have you been enjoying your evening so far?
Oh, it's been a wonderful evening. It's a wonderful event, very well organised, and it's great vibe out there. Everybody's just so excited, and hearing so much about the wonderful projects that have been nominated, shortlisted, and the sponsors. Very inspirational and humbling as well for all those people that couldn't be here, that want to be here, really.
And how does it feel, to have won this award when they called your name?
I was speechless when they called my name, because actually when you look at the other shortlist candidates, I didn't think we had a chance, and was really, I was silent. But it was wonderful, really wonderful, great to represent approachable parenting, to represent our trainers, our parents, our volunteers, all of them who are working so hard to do this work, and to have the sponsorship of Islamic Relief, who actually have sponsored and helped us in expanding this project up and down the country. It's been wonderful, yeah.
And of course, going forward, do you have any plans now that you've got this award with you by your side?
Wow, I'm just thinking, feeling the weight of it. It's very heavy, so with it comes a responsibility, yes? So it hasn't quite sunk in yet, but what we would like to see, we feel that every child is inspirational, every family are inspirational. Some families need a bit of support, some families need a little bit more support, and we want to be there to help and support those families so that we can help to have a better or more productive, if that's the right words, next generation, because we feel that they're our future, they're the inspirational ones, and we want them all to achieve. Each child should have that opportunity to achieve their own capacity, to their maximum capacity, whatever that capacity is. Each one of them should have their opportunity. And sometimes parents find it maybe a little bit challenging, and that's where we come in and try and support them and guide them and inspire them to achieve their best, inshallah.
Well, congratulations. May Allah guide you in your work. I hope you have the rest of the evening a fantastic time.
Thank you so much.
So, next up, we're honoured to have as our guest of honour tonight the Right Honourable David Lidington MP, the Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, and Minister for the Cabinet Office. Now, Malika, being from Canada, asked me what the Duchy of Lancaster was.
Sorry.
So I explained he's basically like the king of an area called Lancaster. He sits and collects the dues near Manchester. And when he has a bit of time, he works in the Cabinet Office. Is that true? It's broadly right. So David's been an MP in Aylesbury since 1992. And I went to school maybe a couple of years ago in Amersham. And I remember as a kid, again, just 2-3 years ago, our schools at Aylesbury and schools in Amersham were fierce rivals in the sports field. And
well, clearly, Yasser isn't speaking from first-hand experience. I bet you're on the side. I mean, you don't really look like the athletic type.
Guys, I'm getting bullied again. But even though there were rivalries in the sports field in those days, we're all here together today to honor those kind of sung and unsung heroes in the Muslim community today.
So, but before we do meet our guest of honor, I know you're eager to come on stage. We do have the honor of welcoming an honorable man, the man of the moment, who has envisioned and delivered these awards with such honor for so long, the editor and publisher of the Muslim News, Mr. Ahmed Versi.
Right Honourable David Lidington, distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you all. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you to the 16th Muslim News Awards for Excellence event, and I wish you all a happy St. George's Day. I would like to extend my appreciation to our readers who nominated men, women, and children whose endeavors and activities mark them out for recognition of excellence. While we look forward to marking 3 decades of Britain's leading Muslim newspaper, the stories we cover directly reflect the experiences of British Muslims And in the last 12 months, these stories have been overshadowed by tragedy. In Ramadan, Makram Ali was killed when he was hit by a van that was purposely driven through a crowd of worshippers in Finsbury Park. In September, Zainab Hussain was left with life-changing injuries after her attacker drove his car onto the pavement and drove over her in Leicester. The attacker then went on to drive his car into a 12-year-old Muslim girl, also wearing a headscarf. Another attacker who drove at Kamal Ahmed after saying, "I'm going to kill a Muslim," walked free in January after serving just 33 weeks in prison. And it is not just random terrorist and Islamophobic attacks that plague the Muslim community. Our own government looks at us through the prism of extremism and terrorism, as evidenced by the PREVENT strategy. This is not unique to the current government, by the way. The Labour government were no different. But in all this adversity, we also find tales of solidarity and positivity. In the case of Finsbury Park, for example, we saw an outpouring of support from a cross-section of the British public. At Grenfell Tower, where a fire took the lives of 80 people, Muslims and Muslim charities came to the rescue of those affected. Muslim charities provide food banks throughout the year to tackle poverty in the UK, crucially coming to the aid of elderly and homeless during the bitter winter months. Solidarity and generosity are just some of the qualities and achievements our Muslim community can be proud of. Last year, we also saw Sir Mo Farah becoming the first British Muslim to win the BBC's Sports Personality of the Year. Sarah Mahmood Ahmed won BBC's MasterChef title, the first Muslim woman to do so. Two Muslim state schools in Blackburn, Tawheedul Islam Girls and Boys High Schools, topped the national value-added performance table in GCSE exam results. These honors are all the more important in today's landscape. They are an antidote to the negativity that surrounds Muslims in the mainstream media. The reason the Muslim News Awards for Excellence were created back in the year 2000 was to counter this media narrative and to help us seek out Muslim news stories which we can all celebrate. Tonight's event showcases the many wonderful achievements of Muslims. They inspire and motivate us to excel, as well as celebrate these positive contributions to the society as a whole. Last year, more than 60% of the winners were women, demonstrating their centrality to their country and communities, even though they are perceived as oppressed and are the ones who bear the brunt of Islamophobic attacks. This year marks the centenary of women getting the vote in the UK. Since 1918, 4,801 men have been elected to Parliament, compared to only 489 women. However, a very small percentage have been from an ethnic minority background, and much fewer from a Muslim background. There are currently only 8 Muslim women MPs. The good news, however, is that it is one more than the number of Muslim men MPs. Our guest of honor, David Lidington, has been one of the earliest supporters of these awards since its inception. He attended the event in 2000 as Shadow Home Affairs Minister, as you can see. Over the years, Mr. Lidington has been very supportive of the Muslim community. Letters calling on people to punish a Muslim earlier this month were condemned by the Cabinet Minister. Mr. Lidington responded saying, "I am disgusted by this letter and the vile and barbaric sentiments that it represents. This kind of hatred has no place in modern society." The Cabinet Minister visited Aylesbury Mosque on 23rd of March to express support for the Muslim community in the light of this hate campaign. Last February, as leader of the House of Commons, Mr. Lidington condemned the case of a Welsh Muslim teacher who was stopped from flying to the United States. I hope that he will continue in his robust support of the British Muslim community and his manifold contributions to our society. My heartfelt thanks and appreciation to all the sponsors, including Human Appeal, one of the fastest growing Muslim charities in the UK. And a huge thank you to Yasir and Malika and to the team of volunteers who make this event a success. My congratulations to all of those who are shortlisted for the awards here tonight. I wish you all a very enjoyable and inspiring evening. Before I invite the guest of honor, let us remember Professor Khurshid in our prayers, who passed away last week. He was an outstanding person who made a huge contributions to the British Muslim community. And now I would like to invite the Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster and the Minister for the Cabinet Office, the Right Honourable David Lidington.
Well, Ahmed, thank you very much for inviting me here tonight, although it is quite scary to be confronted by a photograph of yourself of 18 years ago. But thank you again for that kind introduction. Good evening, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. It's a real pleasure to be here again at the Muslim News Awards for Excellence and to be surrounded by friends, by parliamentary colleagues of all political parties, by leaders from across the Muslim community. And we're all here to celebrate the amazing achievements of this wonderfully rich and diverse community that we have here in our country. And that's what I want to touch on very briefly this evening, that word community, and why the strength and vibrancy of our communities is so important to us all. I hope I'll be forgiven if I quote the Holy Quran, which teaches, "O mankind, we have made you into nations and tribes so that you may know one another." And when I made a speech earlier this year in Wales, I talked about the value of our United Kingdom. And my argument then, and my argument again tonight, is that there is no contradiction between loyalty to one's country, loyalty to the United Kingdom, and loyalty to one's community as well. Because people right across this country derive a sense of who we are from a variety of different sources, from family and community, from town and village, from political persuasion, and of course from religious faith. And it's precisely the plurality of those sources and of those bonds which, when they come together, form a whole that is much greater than just the sum of its parts, and a country that's united and stronger and more self-confident about itself and its purpose in the world. You can be British, but also English, Scots, Welsh, Northern Irish, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Sikh, Jew, Yorkshire, Lancashire, Cornwall, Brummie, Cockney. And none of those loyalties make us feel less loyal to the country, less entitled to stand up and take our place in the mainstream of our society in the United Kingdom. And I think there really is no community which demonstrates more pride, enthusiasm, and pure inspiration than that of British Muslims across our country, many of whom are gathered here in this room tonight. And in the words of the Prime Minister, to whom the value of community is perhaps something she appreciates more than many people. I mean, your influence as a community reaches every part of our society, from sport, charity, the arts and youth work, to business and enterprise as well. There are British Muslims who really are role models, the thinkers, the visionaries. And wherever you look around this country, you see British Muslim men and women leading the way in whatever field they choose. You mentioned Ahmed Samo Farah, yet another medal and another record yesterday, one of the finest sportsmen the United Kingdom has ever produced. Or in the media, Michel Hussein, who regularly relishes the opportunity to try and skewer myself and other government colleagues in the early hours of the morning on Radio 4. Or you look at politics, at my colleague Nusrat Ghani, the first female Muslim minister ever to speak at the dispatch box in the House of Commons, alongside my cabinet colleague Sajid Javid, the first British Muslim and the first British Asian to hold the office of Secretary of State. And of course, Ahmed, you yourself, the editor of the largest and oldest Muslim newspaper in Britain. Now, I haven't yet read the write-up of yeah. And I haven't, Ahmed, yet read the write-up of this speech, but I hope you'll be saying nicer things than what I tend to have dished out on a daily basis back in the House of Commons. But quite simply, ladies and gentlemen, British Muslims include some of the brightest lights that make up the constellation of brilliance that is our diverse United Kingdom. And it's why it's right we come together tonight to recognise the achievements of the whole British Muslim community. Those achievements are something of which all of us, wherever we come from in society, can be proud, and which all of us can celebrate with enthusiasm, with pleasure and sheer gratitude. But that also explains why we must never stop our efforts to strengthen our communities further and bring people closer together. And one of the events I most enjoyed in my own constituency last summer was when my local mosque in Aylesbury decided to celebrate the end of Ramadan by holding an Eid fete, bringing together, in that title, a British tradition of the village fete with the Muslim festival of Eid. The doors of the mosque and the arms of the community were thrown open to everybody in Aylesbury. And I remember going to the mosque and standing alongside the head of the local police and the command of the local Royal Air Force Station and the mayor and others, hearing the imam talk about the faith and hearing the chairman of the mosque committee describing the community life there. But it's also true that while Britain is a proudly multi-ethnic and diverse country, we cannot pretend that divisions and disparities do not still exist within our society. And we can't avoid the fact that examples of prejudice and injustice are still too common in everyday life, and that for too long, if we're honest with ourselves, governments of all political colours have not acted sufficiently to correct them. Now, nearly 2 years ago, the Prime Minister set out a mission on the steps of Downing Street to build a country that works for everyone. No simple task. Nobody said it would be easy or happen overnight. But part of creating that fairer country we all want to see involves working harder and faster to break down those barriers that are still holding people back from achieving their true potential. And that objective is something I believe that politicians of all political parties in this country believe in too. And that's why one of the Prime Minister's first acts on entering Downing Street was to commission an unprecedented race disparity audit of the whole public sector, the first of its kind in the world. And what that is doing is shining an unsparing light on the disparities faced by many people from different ethnic groups in their use of public services in Britain, from health to education to employment to criminal justice. Now, of course, British Muslims belong to many different ethnic backgrounds, and those of you here tonight are a direct testament to the success stories that come out of the British Muslim community. But what the figures in that audit show is that too many people are still left behind in this country, and that's something we cannot and will not let continue. But while it's our mission to tackle these social policy challenges into the future, we know that there are also more serious and very direct threats that face the Muslim community in the here and now. And frankly, when I read letters or emails that encourage people in this country to participate in a so-called Punish a Muslim Day, and when I hear directly from British Muslims, people who are British citizens, who are paying taxes, who are working, who are active participants in our society, they tell me about the fear which that sort of comment and incitement causes to them and their family. I feel a mixture of outrage and disgust. And when I see reports, particularly see stuff that circulates on social media about regular incidents of anti-Muslim hate crime in our society, it gets me angry. And when I hear and see, and again it's online commentary where this is so often seen, divisive, xenophobic and racist language in political argument, whether it comes from the far left or the far right, I am not only utterly appalled, but absolutely determined that we must work together amongst our different traditions of religion and ethnicity and redouble those endeavours to overcome and to defeat the forces of hatred and of intolerance. And my message, and this government's message, is clear. That kind of bigotry and intolerance has no place in the United Kingdom, and we will try to stamp it out wherever we find it. And so when I read other letters calling for people to take part in a Love a Muslim Day in response to the bigotry, I am reassured that however long the struggle, the values of solidarity and unity will prevail. And when I see people who've committed hate crimes rightly punished, I'm confident that the zero tolerance attitude, whether from government or broader society, is the right one. And when I hear racism and bigotry in our politics condemned from all sides of the democratic tradition, I have more faith than ever, as that my late colleague from the Labour Party, Joe Cox, put it, that what unites us is far greater than what divides us. For it's the actions of people who call out and refuse to tolerate bigotry wherever they find it, and the actions of those who believe in the eternal principles of kindness, charity and compassion, that is what fills me with optimism. And it's like, Ahmed, it is like the actions of Mohammed Mahmoud, the imam at a young man, the imam of the Finsbury Park Mosque, who ran towards and protected the man who'd just driven his car into a group of worshippers nearly a year ago. In his words, he wanted to make sure that the driver answered for his crime. And sure enough, in February this year, that man, Darren Osborne, was found guilty of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. That is justice, that is tolerance, that is the United Kingdom today at its best. And Mohammed Mahmoud is a true leading light in the British Muslim community. A strong country needs strong and vibrant communities, and those communities need leaders who inspire those around them. And those here tonight, and especially those whom we are celebrating and honouring, are an inspiration and an example to us all. Congratulations to everyone who's been nominated and to everybody who is winning an award. But even more, thank you for everything you have done for this country, and please continue all your work to make this a better, fairer, and more tolerant country still, one in which we can all feel that we live together in peace and in pride. Thank you very much indeed. Now I am...
Sorry, that's okay. No? I was just going to say that as you quoted the Holy Quran, the verse that we created you male and female and made you from different nations and tribes so that you may get to know one another. I just want to say that this awards is truly a testament of that. And the next award that you're about to present is the al-Mu'mineen Khadija Award for Excellence in Enterprise. And she truly championed for this cause. So please go ahead.
Right. And the winner, so I read the nominations, this is a real contest of excellence, but the winner is Shehzad Nawab.
And startups over the last 15 years, as well as working with small and medium-sized enterprises to help them grow. Shehzad, who is profoundly deaf, has demonstrated his commitment to the community by constantly promoting entrepreneurship and business success. He received an MBE in 2017 for services to business and diversity and was listed in the top 10 most influential disabled people in business 2014.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to be using British Sign Language to communicate with you all. I have my interpreter here to voice over for me. Hopefully you will all understand and we won't make any misdemeanors in the language. I am profoundly deaf. I've been profoundly deaf since birth. And since that time, the biggest barrier has been communication. So from that time, I've been committed to setting up businesses and to support others in doing the same. And to encourage others to think about their own personal development and growth. And luckily, from that time, I've achieved 7 awards, which I've received. And now I've got number 8, so thank you very much. Thank you all.
Assalamu alaikum. How has your evening been so far?
Wa alaikum salam. I feel that the evening has gone by really, really well. I mean, it was the first time I've been nominated for an award for the Muslim News Awards of Excellence. I really don't know exactly how it happened. So when I arrived in London, I was ready for the event and I could see that everything looked fantastic. It was a beautiful view to come in here. All the lighting was brilliant. The tables were set up perfectly. The planning was excellent.
That sounds amazing. Now that you've received the award, how do you feel about it?
That's a good question. When I arrived, I was in Birmingham today and I had to come into London. It was over 2 hours of driving. And I thought that, you know, if I win or if I lose, I'm not too sure either of which. That was the idea that I had in my head. So I was thinking about all of the awards that I've always received, well, the ones that I've received in the past, and I was feeling, you know, maybe I wouldn't be in the running so much. But then I got it and I recognized my photo from the screen. That's how I realized that I'd won, and I felt fantastic about it.
That sounds amazing. Now that you have this award, what do you plan on doing with it in the future?
So from now up until the future, my plans, I mean, I'm thinking about different opportunities for business that have quite a wide range in diversity, and to think about different ways. I'm really quite open-minded. I want them to include deaf people from the deaf community and hearing people in the hearing community, people with disabilities, people with sensory loss as well.
That sounds fantastic. Congratulations. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
If you guys want to take your phones out again, go to the same website, menti.com. It will be a different code. They're going to put it on the screen shortly. Oh, there you are.
So the code for menti.com is if you type in 409475. So we'd like to find out what you think, how many awards you think have been presented so far.
Do you think there's too many to keep track?
Do you think we haven't done enough? There are too many worthy people.
Do you think you didn't realize this was an awards show? Because look at this stunning venue.
And I can see lots of people are clearly glued to their food and they just don't want to play.
Or there's just the right amount. So let us know. We only have a couple people on, but...
Given there are 500 people in this room, I feel 15 is just not engaging enough. So let's get you on, because for the next question, we really need all your participation. Come on, everyone, please play this game.
I mean, personally, I think there's not enough. Like, Yasser and I have yet to receive an award. So clearly, there needs to be some more awards coming.
So the next question, guys, is... Sorry? The next award... Could you please all fill this in? What 3 words come to mind when you think of the Muslim News Awards?
What are the 3 words that come?
I'd like to see everyone fill this in. Let's see what you all think about the Muslim News Awards. It's interesting.
So as you can see, the more times a word appears, the bigger it gets in our word cloud. So.
Interesting. I don't see... Someone wrote boring. Thank you for that, guys.
Yeah, I see that too.
I can see they refer to Malika as glamorous. That's good to see.
Yeah.
That's not what you meant to show. Can you go back to full screen, please? Can you put present please?
Mode, yeah. Present.
Guys, can you get that back on, please? Technical errors, we're clearly live.
But I think one thing I saw was inspiring, and actually inspiring Muslims is trending on Twitter right now. So we encourage you to keep using the hashtag in your Twitter posts. Let's keep the momentum going. And actually Toronto is trending as well. So clearly you guys love me more than him because I'm trending.
Can I just say, someone wrote Muslim Eurovision. Is that because of Brexit the musical, or what was that? Or just this gentleman here? Thank you. And someone wrote Grace Hosts. Whoever wrote that, you're amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Yasser is amazing. They love Yasser.
That's not true. Okay, fantastic. All right, well, thank you all for participating. It's only 77. If you want to finish it off, please do. But thank you for filling the word cloud. Okay, let's move on.
So, this next award that we're going to be presenting is named after stunning sights to see and works of art. It is named after the famed region in southern Spain and is none other than the Alhambra Award for Excellence in the Arts. And it is also my pleasure and honor to invite the next individual onto the stage. You may know her as the first Muslim woman to be elected as MP, or you may recognize her for her contribution and involvement in the formation of the Constitution of Kosovo. So can we please join me in welcoming Ms. Yasmin Qureshi, MP, Shadow Minister of Justice.
Good evening and assalamu alaikum. I just want to thank Muslim News for organising this wonderful event today. And I think one of the most important reasons why an event like tonight is so important is that firstly, tonight we are celebrating the huge contributions Muslims make to Britain. I think we should take an opportunity to champion the massive contributions that Muslims make to our country. We see it every day. Whether it's in sport, Mo Farah or Amir Khan, or the Muslim Premier League footballer who just won an award, or in the media when you turn on Radio 4 and you hear Michelle Hussein, or whenever I go into Parliament and I see more Muslim members of Parliament than ever before sitting on the green benches. There's so much to be celebrating. And so it's important that we celebrate this tonight. But there's lots to be done as well. There are still glass ceilings and walls we need to break down in this country so that Muslims, talented from every community, in every part of our community, can make it to the top of politics, judiciary, police, media, finance, business, artistic industries, or writers, comedians, such as the wonderful Aisha Hazaki who's sitting over there. Sadly, however, many Muslim men and women are still being held back in the workplace by spread of Islamophobia, racism and discrimination. A report last year found that Muslim adults are far less likely to be in full-time work, even though the research of the Government Social Mobility Watchdog found a strong work ethic and high resilience amongst Muslims, which resulted in impressive educational results, but this was not translated into the workplace. So this is what I want to see in a country that is truly equal and diverse as well. And that's why events like such as tonight challenge the narrow, intolerant views about Islam and about Muslims that still exist in this society and in most parts of the right-wing media of our country. But when we celebrate the contribution of British Muslims, of course, it's not just those in spotlight. Muslims give more charity than any other faith group, and we play a huge role in our communities day in and day out. And we should also remember the historical contributions that Muslims have made to the United Kingdom. More than 1 million servicemen from pre-partition India fought for Britain, and hundreds of thousands of them were Muslim. Many thousands lost their lives fighting for the freedom that we enjoy today. And if you go to some parts of Europe, you will see graves which have Muslims' names on it. So tonight we should remember them and all those British Muslims who serve in our armed forces. Let me also say that we need to continue to challenge the intolerant views about Muslims that exist in some parts of the country. Earlier I heard somebody mention about Love a Muslim Day, when there was this Punishment a Muslim Day letter, which I raised as an urgent question in the House of Commons. And of course, a few weeks, and that, the urgent question, which was raised in Parliament, but what I was really happy about it was that all my parliamentary colleagues across the political divide were unanimous and united in condemning this letter. And so that's why it's important that we all work together across the political divide and of the communities to tackle the issue of Islamophobia. And one of the reasons where we can tackle this is myself and a number of other colleagues are saying that there should be a definition of Islamophobia, just as there is a definition of anti-Semitism. Because I think it's important, because far too much Islamophobic comments, articles are written and just discussed, and nobody bats an eyelid. And you cannot do that for any other community but for Muslims. So it's important if we have a definition, that at least there can be some accountability. But tonight, really, I want to congratulate all the winners so far and those who follow after me for all the fantastic work you've done to deserve these awards. And of course, I want to say a particular thanks to Ahmed Versi, who came up with this idea so many years ago, and every year puts in this wonderful, wonderful celebration run. Thank you as well.
Do you want to announce the winner? Have you got an envelope?
Yeah.
Have an envelope to announce the winner?
Okay, so the winner of Alhambra Award for Excellence in the Arts, recognition the envelope, is Lou Allen.
Artist and creative entrepreneur who has worked across multiple disciplines for over 2 decades. Rue studied graphic design at the prestigious Central St. Martin's College of Art and Design and studied Arabic calligraphy in Egypt. He has exhibited in galleries in the UK and the UAE. His community-based projects have included training young deaf students to make a successful film, which won an international award from Adobe. And he recently appeared in the BBC documentary The Hidden Art of Islam.
Put it back in there so you know how to clean it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you again for the surprise award. I wanted to just thank everyone who supported me over the years, particularly my parents who never dissuaded me from following the arts and pursuing it. And my family who always kept me out of the clouds and grounded. So thank you everyone, and congratulations to all the winners tonight. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Whichever way is fine. Thank you.
I must ask, have you been having a good evening so far?
It's been great, lovely evening so far, meeting amazing people.
And of course, how did you feel when you were called for the award and they said your name?
I really didn't expect it. I was completely taken by surprise, and the table just I was sitting at, they all started clapping and egging me on, So it came as a real surprise.
So do you have any plans now that you have this award with you by your side going forward? Anything has changed in your mind since the last few seconds when you won it?
Oh, I guess in many ways it just keeps you going, really. It's just recognition. So in many ways, now in one way that you're doing something right, and people are recognizing or seeing it. So I think that's definitely motivation going forward. So I'm not going to stop anytime soon.
That's really inspiring. Congratulations on winning the award, and I hope you have a lovely evening.
Thank you so much.
So we're at the final award of the evening, the Editor's Lifetime Achievement Award. This is a tribute granted by the editor of the Muslim News, and unlike the other awards, is not decided by the independent panel of judges.
The winners of this award personify the spirit of this entire initiative. They truly are our community's unsung heroes who have diligently, courageously, and persistently expended energy and have strived to improve the lives of British Muslims.
So to present this award, we actually have 2 presenters this evening. So I saw the editor of Ahmed Versi standing up already. So we will have one presenter, will be the editor of the Mr. News, Mr. Ahmed Versi. But for the second presenter, we're very honoured to have with us the Right Honourable Dominic Grieve, absolutely, the member of Standards and Privileges Committee of the House of Commons, chairman of the Intelligence Security Committee, former Attorney General, and he's been a wonderful friend to Mr. News. I think you've presented many years. So please welcome them both on stage. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moment to laugh.
Good evening, assalamu alaikum. It's a great pleasure to be with you this evening, but the whips have threatened to turn me into a pumpkin if I'm not back in the House of Commons by 9:15. So I've been waiting, but if Yasmin waits long enough, then we can pair with each other. So if we don't get back on time, they'll just get angry with both of us, but it won't make any difference to the vote. I just want to thank you for having invited me. I have done numerous of these Muslim News Awards. Ahmed Versi's great idea. Each time I come, there's something new. Each time I come, there's progress. And as you know, last year I was very privileged to do the Citizens UK inquiry into missing Muslims. And the nice thing about coming here is I noticed there are very few Muslims missing. So on the whole, I am pretty optimistic about the future, but that's because of what you all do. And I'd just like to say what a privilege it was for me to be the chair of that particular commission. Ahmed now wants me to read this out. And the winner of the Editor's Lifetime Achievement Award is Dr. Sabir Salim.
In the 1940s, Sabir Salim studied medicine in Hyderabad and then went on to set up her own clinic. She came to London in 1960, where she met her husband. In the next 2 decades, they established 3 GP practices, had 4 children, and hosted Friday prayers and Arabic classes for the growing Muslim community in South London. Dr. Salim is also the first Muslim woman to have been prominent in funding and establishing a mosque in the UK, and remains a trustee of the now thriving Lewisham and Kent Islamic Centre. After she retired well into her 70s, she was nominated for an OBE for her services to the community.
After thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I thank everybody, especially you and all your colleagues and everybody. I don't know why I'm selected. I don't say that I have done anything. So that's it.
A very gracious winner indeed. Okay. Okay.
Can we get another round of applause, please?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Have you enjoyed yourself so far?
So far, yes.
And how do you feel now that you've gotten this award?
I'm thinking, what am I getting this award for? I haven't done anything.
And now that you have this award, do you have any plans going forward? What you've achieved?
Whatever Allah Ta'ala helped me in, I achieved. But going forward is not, I'm retired now from doing anything as well. I've done whatever I have done. But now I am 86, or 87, is it? 86. So that's it.
Well, it's a massive achievement, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And I hope you enjoy your award.
So although the next awards are not officially part of the Muslim News Awards for Excellence, the Muslim News newspaper wishes and is giving a certificate of special recognition for active community services.
So to present this award, we're going to ask the editor of the Muslim News, Mr. Ahmed Versi, to come up and show our appreciation. Let's give him a round of applause, please.
Just to say, this is a certificate, it's not part of the Muslim News Awards. This is part of the Muslim News newspaper special recognition for in this case, persons who have contributed a lot to the Muslim community. And the winner of this Muslim News Special Recognition for Active Communities Service Award is Muhammad Amassi.
Consulting, advisory and asset management firm. His non-profit, a Mercy Foundation, supports charities in education, poverty, conflict and religion in Africa, the Middle East and Asia. Mohammed has also launched the Inclusive Ventures Group, a social impact investing platform. Mohammed is a fellow of Brasenose College at the University of Oxford, a trustee of Prince's Trust International, a member of the Development Board of the British Academy, and a member of the Global Leadership Council of the Said Business School at the University of Oxford.
I would like to begin by thanking Ahmed and the Versi family for once again organizing a spectacular gala dinner for Muslim News. This has become an annual event, and every year it gets bigger and better, so congratulations for all that you've done. I stand here today very humbled, but also very proud and privileged. My foundation in the last 12 months has been focusing on three main activities. Firstly, education. Secondly, building inclusive and cohesive communities and societies. And thirdly, inclusive capitalism. I will not bore you tonight with all the details of initiatives which we have pursued in each of these three categories, but let me just say that in the field of education, we were very proud to be able to launch the Oxford Foundry, which is at the University of Oxford. It's their #1 center for entrepreneurship and innovation. We were also proud to have Tim Cook from Apple come to open it last September, and between then and now, there have been more than 1,700 business plans that the university has presented to the Foundry. In the area of cohesive communities, I chair the Faith in Leadership Foundation, and we were very proud last year to have a dinner at which, besides Muslim imams like Ibrahim Mogra and Imam Razawi, we also had the Archbishop of Canterbury as well as the Chief Rabbi as our guests. And we are also very happy to have promoted a society in the UK which is multiracial, multi-religious, multicultural, and we hope to continue this initiative in the course of this year and next. And finally, in the Inclusive Capitalism event initiative, we were proud to sponsor a program at the British Academy which is called the Future of the Corporation, and that is basically a 3-year research program that asks fundamental questions today as to what is the purpose of business and how can we make business far more inclusive than it is today. And this program has been launched. It launched last year, and after 3 years we will be reporting findings to governments here as well as the OECD, and with the hope that it will lead to business that recognizes that their responsibility lies far wider than just making money for their shareholders. Thank you very much.
So I have to ask, today evening, have you enjoyed yourself so far?
I have very much enjoyed myself. It is a superb evening. The house is absolutely full with people, important people, people from different walks of life. So yes, it is a pleasure and a privilege to be here tonight.
And of course, I have to ask this question. How do you feel after winning the award?
I feel very humbled and very proud that in the midst of so many deserving people, that the editor was to choose me to receive this recognition. So it's a pleasure, a privilege, and with great pride, I said thank you very much.
And lastly, going forward, what do you plan to do with this award in your hand now?
So I think this is a huge recognition that the work which we have done, every small change can lead to a very big change. So we just hope to build on the work we have done until this year, and this award will be hugely inspirational and will be a sign that the work we have done has been recognized and rewarded.
Congratulations on winning the award again.
We actually have a second certificate of recognition.
Yeah, second one, same. And the winner for the Muslim News Special Recognition for Active Community Service Award goes to Syed Bukhari.
A British Pakistani has made his mark in the world of business and the humanitarian and social movement.
It's great.
He founded the Bukhari Foundation in 2017, and his latest project aims to house over 100 destitute and orphan children in Pakistan. Saeed produced the critically acclaimed Pakistani movie Cake, which was the first Pakistani movie to receive a full red carpet premiere in London's Leicester Square. He also founded HPM Developments in 2011, a luxury real estate investment and development business, and is the co-founder of Martin Kemp Design, a leading London-based design studio.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, lovely choice of pictures. I'll keep it short and sweet. I want to thank Ahmed Saab and Muslim News for this humbling award. And it's even more of a privilege to get an award after my younger brother, Mohammed and Versi. And have a good evening. Allah Hafiz.
So I have to ask, how has the evening gone so far? Have you enjoyed yourself?
It's a lovely evening. It's beautiful. It's really well organized. It's a great turnout. It's something that's so important and fantastic to have. We have the Muslim News once a year, but we'd love to have it twice a year to see the same community turn up again.
And of course, I have to ask, how does it feel to have been awarded this award? How does it feel to, get up on stage and be recognized for your efforts?
It was really humbling. Actually, I wasn't expecting it. I saw Mohammed and Versi go up first, and then I got one, so I wasn't very well prepared. But it's obviously a very humbling experience, staring the stage with such, people that have made so many achievements in life and stuff, and it's obviously very nice.
And of course, I have to ask, going forward, what do you plan to do with this award now with you by your side?
Treasure it. But also use it, something only means something if you use it as a stepping stone. So it should be the beginning step to try to achieve more. And then you know that it gives you the notion that when you're achieving something, then someone's recognizing it. And that makes you try to work harder, inshallah.
Well, congratulations on your award. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
So this brings us to the end of our evening.
And the last thing we have remaining is a vote of thanks.
So we want to thank all our presenters, especially our special guests, Tom Brake, Yasmin Qureshi, Ian Blackford, Dominic Grieve, and of course our guest of honor, the Right Honourable David Lidington.
We also want to, yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Please do that.
Please.
Good thing.
We'd also like to thank Mr. Zafar Malik, who designed the brochures. And we also want to thank Ms. Zainab Latif, who beautifully designed the astrolabes that the winners received. And I also want to recognize her that she dedicated this service pro bono.
Of course, this event would not be possible without the backing of our sponsors. So we're very grateful for your support in driving this recognition of British Muslims. And of course, if anyone else would like to sponsor, please get involved. But a hand for the sponsors.
And no event is complete without a team of volunteers, and the Muslim News Awards for Excellence is no exception in this regard. So can we please thank our hardworking team of volunteers who have done so much to make tonight's event a success.
Like Anaz Malik has said, I'm definitely getting older and my eyesight's getting worse, but you are definitely the most beautiful crowd we've ever had at the Muslim News Awards. So thank you all for attending and participating and being involved and making this night so special.
Thank you. And finally, not forgetting the editor and visionary behind the Muslim News newspaper. Let's give it up for Mr. Ahmed Versi.
this year, I also want to call out someone who works behind the scenes quite a lot, who's actually supported the paper for 30 years, who's worked alongside Ahmed to make this a success. Ahmed's wife, Versi. She does not like attention.
Well, speaking of which, next year is the 30th anniversary of the Muslim News newspaper, so be on the lookout for special events to celebrate this monumental achievement. And as you may know, the Muslim News newspaper has faced quite a bit of challenges since its establishment, working with a shoestring budget, yet has been able to reach over 150,000 people all over the United Kingdom.
And at a time of...
Yes, please.
Go ahead, please.
Yes.
At a time of greater Islamophobia, greater introspection, I think the purpose and the vision and the need behind the Muslim News is as great as ever. So, if there's any way you can help, through sponsorship, through volunteering, or even auditioning for this role, my role.
Or mine, because you never know when there's a Canada exit coming soon.
So please do get in touch with the Muslim News team. So I'm going to ask the final request of you all. Please remember to stay in your allocated seats. Throughout the rest of dinner, please do engage on social media and make sure that you're kind of hashtagging Inspiring Muslims. I also want to just flag that it's been a pleasure to work with Malika, even though we brought her in from Canada. She's only 21, so let's give her a big round of applause. Thank you. It's not scripted.
Not scripted.
So it's good night from Malika.
And good night from Yasser.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.